welcome back to the Coach Mack Show, the final edition for this season, Coach. It's been a blast. I've enjoyed it. I hope you have too. It's been a pleasure.
Well, yeah, I've enjoyed doing the show with you. Now, as far as the football season, I'd like to have had a much better outcome to it. This football season, we had a lot of challenges. Going into it, we knew that our talent level. If you go back to our first show or two, we talked about, I felt like our talent level was going to be down compared to what it's been in the past. I knew we had concerns on the offensive line. I knew we had concerns with our lack of experience at the running back position. And it really kind of all came true, unfortunately. I wish I was wrong. I wish we were sitting here talking about how we were able to put together a very good offensive line, and we were able to put together a good, solid running game. But really neither one of those came about this year. So that was disappointing, but not really, unfortunately, not really surprising. During the course of the year, I felt like, you look at a schedule, I felt like there was games that, yeah, we should win. There was games I knew it was going to be very tough to win. And then you had kind of those borderline games. You didn't know would go one way or another. You know, throughout the course of the year, I kind of felt like the Bradwell game was going to be huge for us. We needed to win that because of the power rankings, and we did get a win there. We won that game. It was
huge for us.
Yeah, and I felt like we would probably struggle versus a much more talented Ware County, a much more talented Fitzgerald. That did happen. And then in the region play, we got into region play, and really I'd say the biggest disappointments was in region play was probably would have to be the Telfair game. Looking at the Telfair game, that was a game I knew we had to have. It was a game that would have kept us home in the first round. We went over there. We started off incredibly slow on both sides of the ball, really never got into any kind of a groove during the game, and come away with an 8-point loss. And then all year long, it sounds like I ought to be predicting things here because it seemed like it came true. But I had really thought that Irwin County was going to be a much, much better football team, and they were. And
of course, the whole season it seemed like
they really were. The way their schedule felt, the way their schedule was lined up, they didn't get the matchup with Wilcox till late, and that was kind of really a good barometer of where everybody stood during the course of the season. Was when you lined up against the best team in our region, which was Wilcox. But that's a little bit misleading because we beat Wilcox, so. We beat Wilcox. If you'd have told me at the beginning of the year, say, hey, listen, you're going to beat Wilcox and you're going to beat Clinch, but yet you're going to finish 5th in the region, I think.
How's that possible?
Yeah, how's that possible? I mean, you beat two huge games you win, but yet, again, the Turner game was one that I really, looking at it early in the year, I knew Turner was going to be improved, but I didn't know we were going to go play that bad. We just played awful. We played awful that game. So, the Turner game and then the Telfair game were two of the ones that probably the most disappointing games of the season, which would have kept us, a win in one of those two would have kept us home in the first round of the playoffs. We kept the streak alive as far as playoff appearances. Yeah. There's
a lot of schools that would love to have gone one time.
That's right. And we've been over 23 times in a row. But the one streak that ended this year was consecutive winning streaks, winning seasons. We finished 5 and 6. Making the playoffs kind of gave us the losing record, the 6th loss. But again, that was really disappointing, and that's something that kind of bothers me because I look at things over a long period of time. Being able to have a lot of winning seasons put back to back, to me, really shows that consistency means a lot. I think if you're consistent in sports, that says a lot. There's a lot of teams that you can look at over the history. They'll have one great year or one really good year, then disappear.
Never hear from them.
Never hear from them again. And I've really been proud of the fact we've been able to keep Charlton County football really on the front page in Georgia high school for so long.
There's so many, when we go places, there's so many people that you wouldn't think even knew about Folkestone, but they know about it because of Charlton football.
Exactly, because of the great players we've had here, and really it was really disappointing. I guess we kind of did stay on the front page because of the losing season we had, but I wish that we could have done a little better. Wish we could have sent our seniors out as a winning season, but that didn't happen. But now, we've already been done now for a few days, and our focus on our coaching staff and my focus is already on next year.
Right.
Going to miss these seniors, going to miss these. They're really good kids. We're going to miss them on the field this spring and next fall. But, like I told them, I'm always going to be your coach. I'm going to keep pushing you to be the best person you can be. I'm not going to settle for you just to not go on and try to achieve things in your life. And I'm going to always push you for that. And so hopefully it's going to be interesting to see how they all turn out, I guess. But, again, I wish we could have sent them out as a winning football team instead of a 5-6 record. But now our focus is on next year.
Well, I don't want to end that on too much of a down. I mean, you did schedule up on the 5-5, 5-6. I mean, if we had stayed 1A or 2A, that record could have been 7-3.
With the schedule, with the Ware County and Fitzgerald are probably the two right there that stand out.
Yeah.
A lot of people in single A wouldn't have played a Ware County, who is still playing right now, who's in the quarterfinals in 5A, and Fitzgerald, who was in also the quarterfinals of AA.
Right.
Without a doubt, there's nobody in single A that would have scheduled those two teams.
No.
So
that's what I'm saying. I don't want you to be too hard on yourself and the Indians, because we did.
If we would have scheduled, if we were able to schedule, and it was hard. We weren't able to really schedule a lot of other people. We kind of had to take that schedule on. But if we were able to schedule maybe a softer opponent, more of a single A type team, and that maybe wasn't nearly that good. Now you're looking at 7-6, or not 7, be 7-4, 7-5 type season. So it's but still, the schedule had a lot to do with it. But yet you go back and you schedule those two games knowing you probably wouldn't win them. There's always a chance, but you knew that you're going to be outmanned. But then the Telfair game and the Turner game.
Didn't see that coming at all.
No, that right there was the biggest disappointments for us right there.
All right. Well, we're going to take a break, Coach. When we come back, I think you've got some all region to discuss. We'll be right back after this message.
The Folkestone Pharmacy, your original hometown pharmacy for over 45 years, is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet broadcasts. Folkestone Pharmacy accepts insurance from most local employers, including the City of Folkestone, Charlton County, Babcock and Wilcox, AJM, Charlton Memorial Hospital, and many others. The Folkestone Pharmacy wishes the Indians best of luck this season. United First Federal Credit Union has been a part of Charlton County since 2001 and has been providing great service to our members since 1943. United First now offers mobile banking and email alerts. Mobile banking lets you check your balance from your cell phone, while email alerts notifies you when a significant event happens in your account. Both are easy to set up and are free to United First members. United First helps you afford life. All accounts are federally insured by NCUA.
T&T Building Supply is located about a half-mile past US 1 and the 301 split, north of Folkestone, right next to Taylor Timber Company. They have everything you need for your home improvement projects, with a wide selection of lumber, hardware, millwork, plumbing, and electrical supplies, concrete and masonry, power and hand tools, nails, and roofing supplies. They also have a large selection of mobile home hardware. T&T Building Supply is a proud sponsor of Charlton Sportsnet. All right, welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. Coach has got some all-region information, all-region team. Coach?
With our all region, something we've been doing for quite some time now, and how it works, and I explained this to the kids yesterday, was if you made honorable mention, that means your head football coach, which would have been me for here, nominated you to be voted on by the rest of the coaches in the region. So if you made first team, for instance, on offense, we had two guys make first team, C.J. Maynard, a senior wide receiver, and number 19, Curtis Nixon, a sophomore wide receiver. Both those guys made first team all region. How it works is I'll nominate them for wide receiver. I'll talk about them a little bit, talk about their stats, and then, of course, I'm going to vote for my own guy, but then the rest of around the table, the rest of the coaches have to vote for him also. For you to make first team, you just about need unanimous votes by the rest of the coaches in the region. So C.J. Maynard, first team all-region wide receiver. Kurt Nixon, first team all-region wide receiver as a sophomore. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I can't really remember the last time we had a freshman make first team all region, but Michael Dasher, also known as Toby, number 65, made first team all region defensive lineman. And then also we had Will Gowan, number 52. He's a junior. Will made first team All-Region defensive lineman. At linebacker, we had two guys make it. We had Ryan Young, senior outside linebacker, and of course Brent Wiles, without a doubt, was unanimous. Yeah. And Brent even was in the running to be named Region Player of the Year. I really pushed for that hard, but he came up a little short there. But without a doubt, he was the highest vote getter at the linebacker spot. At the defensive back spot, we had Devin Jones, who's a senior, and then Curtis Nixon again as a defensive back. Not often do you have a kid who gets named on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, all region.
But Curtis Nixon, I believe, is the only player in our region to get named. I believe there's one other running back from Telfair was named on offense and defense. But other than that, I don't think there's anyone other than Curtis Nixon, sophomore from Charlton County, named on both sides of the ball.
And he's a sophomore?
Sophomore. So I think Kurt has a chance. Kurt's a great student, first of all. Yeah. And with his athletics, with the job he's done on the football field, and with his academics, especially his academics, he has a chance to be a college football player. So we really look forward to seeing his development. We did have a Region Player of the Year on our Special Team Player of the Year. Trey Harrington received that honor, which is a big deal as a punter. But overall, he was voted unanimously by the region for Special Team Player of the Year.
Very good.
And then we had Brent Wiles was named First Team Long Snapper, and then Devin Jones was named First Team Kickoff Return. He had 2 kickoffs for touchdowns this year and did a great job there. On the all-freshman team, we had 3 guys make that. We had Tion Burrows, number 55, defensive lineman. Of course, Michael Dasher made it, and Andrew Lee made it, who Andrew today had surgery on his arm, broke his arm.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, he broke his arm at the last game at Marion. He had surgery on today. Should be fine. Looks like everything will be good with him for in the spring. And also, Michael Dasher broke his wrist last Friday, so we had 3 kids break bones. Michael Alberts also broke his finger. So if we would have won last Friday, we'd have been in rough shape. Yeah, pretty banged up for this week. Our all-academic team, you can see right here, we have some schools that didn't even have anybody make all-academics.
We won't mention the school.
Yeah, and you can probably just about guess. But then you had other schools that maybe only had 2 or 3 players make all-region, to where we had Michael Alberts, Brent Wiles, Daniel Wade, Jamez Davis, Cody Davis, Will Gowan, Drake Gillis, Antonio Tarpley, Ryan Young, and Hampton Hewling. All those guys made all-region academic team.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, what are the requirements for academic?
Well, it's just it's usually it's grade point average. It goes to juniors and seniors with the highest grade point average, and usually it's got to be a 3.8 or better.
Really,
which is really pretty high.
That's
and
hard.
I know, for instance, you have Daniel Wade, Drake Gillis. I know those guys have 4.0s, which is really incredible. Yeah, and also Jamez Davis. He was our starting center for a lot of part of the year. Jamez Davis also has a perfect 4.0.
That's fantastic.
So it really is. So academically, we're doing a good job with our student athletes. On second team offense, Trey Harrington made second team quarterback.
Very good.
Dave Ron Reed, second team wide receiver. On the offensive line, we had Michael Alberts, who's a senior, and Daniel Wade, who's a senior. Both of them made second team on the offensive side of the ball. On defensive side of the ball, we had Drake Gillis made first team all-region at the defensive line spot. Honorable mention. Again, to make honorable mention, basically your coach nominates you. I believe in standing up and speaking on the behalf of as many of our players as you can. So I'm going to nominate. As you can see, some schools that would only nominate just a few kids other than the kids who made it. But I would nominate a lot of kids. For instance, at honorable mention, linebacker Caleb Smith, center Levi Cribb, center Jamez Davis, offensive line Rufus Barnes, at linebacker Andrew Lee, also linebacker T.J. Wilson, defensive back Jonathan West, running back linebacker Tyree Savage, offensive line Cody Davis, and offensive and defensive line Zach Davis. All those guys I put in the running for to be all region consideration. and so forth. So it's really an honor to make that team because you're voted on by the fellow coaches in your region.
You've made an impression on the opposition.
Yeah, exactly. We spend a lot of time looking at each other's films.
Right.
Throughout the year, whenever you bring up a kid, for instance, everybody in our region knows of the Grace kid, the quarterback number 10 at Wilcox, because you see him on film, you see him play. He's a great player. He was our region player of the year. So, he's a great football player. But the coaches throughout the year, we study each other's films. We study each other's players to see what they can do.
You know each other almost as good as you know your own.
Yeah, it's really, we know each other. So when a kid's brought up to be nominated and voted on, the coaches in the region really do a good job with that, because so you look at our guys like C.J. Maynard and Kurt Nixon, two guys that were first-team all-region wide receiver. There is probably 20 or more wide receivers nominated for the first team, and to get your first team and second team out of that. Yeah. And for those two guys to come out on top as first team
out of that big group,
really says a lot for them. Sometimes we're pretty critical on our performance, but our opponents look at it and they really recognize, hey, this kid right here gave us problems. This kid we were worried about. This kid should be all region. So it's really an honor for those guys to make that.
Well, congratulations to all those guys, Coach.
Yeah, most definitely.
Especially on the, obviously for everything, but on the academic side, you were mentioning 4.0s and 3.0s.
Exactly. I'm really proud of the job our kids do in the classroom. They, really starts at the top here at Charlton County with our administration. We all, although I'm a football coach, but first of all, I want our kids to be students before they're football players, and we really push that. And that's, I personally check all of our kids' report cards. I make them bring them to me so we can talk about them. And every 3.5 weeks, I have them. They bring me personally their progress report. And I asked some of them. They said a lot of times our parents don't even ask to see them, but you do.
I was going to say it's probably worse than taking it home.
Exactly. I'll bring them in here one at a time, and I make them give them to me, and we go over it and we talk about it, and I write down if they're struggling in any classes, and then we'll follow up with teachers to say, is there any way I can help him? Is there anything he needs to be doing? Now, these parents who think, well, I'm going to take him out of sports because he ain't doing good in school, well, they just lost a real good resource there, because you take him out of sports, then I ain't going to have the chance to really be checking on him.
He's missing the extra help.
Exactly. And so it's proven. I've seen articles all the time about how athletics improves academics. It doesn't hurt them. It actually improves it. Your kids that are involved in extracurricular sports, band, cheerleading, sports.
Because they have to meet a standard.
Exactly. They actually do better than your general population or your student body on a whole. So we're proud of the job that our guys do in the classroom.
All right, very good. When we come back, Coach, we'll talk about some fall sports, everything going on there.
The winter sports programs kicked off.
Winter sports.
They're starting practice. I believe the basketball team started today. We can talk a little bit about that.
All right. We'll be right back after this message.
Radio Shack, located at 3885 Main Street, inside the Folkestone Pharmacy, is your local Verizon Wireless authorized agent and Dish Network retailer. Radio Shack carries a variety of computers, tablets, smartphones, and other electronics. The Shack in Folkestone is proud of our student athletes and wishes them the best of luck this season. Now, let's go get 'em Indians.
Babcock & Wilcox, a manufacturer of air filtration devices located in Folkestone, Georgia since 1983, is proud to support the Charlton County athletic programs and the Band of Pride. The employees of B&W wish the Indians, Maidens, Braves, and Band of Pride good luck this season.
Okefenokee Rural Electric Membership Corporation offers more than dependable electrical energy at a competitive price. Quality service is provided by a friendly and professional staff trained to meet your every electrical power need, whether residential, commercial, or industrial. If you have any questions or need information, call us at 1-800-262-5131. Okefenokee REMC, owned by those we serve. A proud sponsor of this year's Indian football broadcast.
All right, welcome back to the Coach Mack Show. We're going to go over some winter sports. Basketball team cranking up now. Bethune just played yesterday.
Yep, I know our boys and girls basketball team got going today practice. Coach Workentine, the head boys basketball coach, is helped with by Jimmy Harris. I know he's got a bunch of kids out there, and I just walked through the gym just to kind of see our guys a little bit. Just walk through there, and and Coach Workington had a lot of guys out there, and I think he said some of them's got to go. I mean, it ain't like football where you can put as many kids as you can on the sidelines, and baseball either. You know, baseball and basketball, you know, there's only a certain amount of room in a dugout or on a bench, so you can't have 40 kids out for basketball on a bench. You'd take up the first couple rows of the bleachers, I guess. But you know, and some of them had to go, so they're out there working hard, trying to impress him. And then, of course, Coach Woods and Miss Pam Nixon is going to be coaching the girls team. Of course, they're coming off an incredible year last year, and I'll tell you what, you know, Courtney Williams is the best girl athlete I've seen come through here, without a doubt. Yeah. She's starting now down at University of South Florida. And I'll tell you what, I still think there's enough talent there for them to have a really, really good basketball season. And, of course, wrestling, you know, probably one of the biggest kept secrets around here. A lot of people don't realize our wrestling team is finished 9th in the state last year. In single A, we were number 9 team in the state, finished the year that way. And if they would have split the teams up last year from public and private, in the public league, in public school wrestling, we would have finished 4th. You know, Brent Wiles is a kid who has a chance. I like to talk about. He's a great high school football player. Yeah. He also has a chance to compete for possibly a state championship in wrestling.
I saw where he was in the gym yesterday morning, the Anytime Fitness gym yesterday morning, 4:30. Yep. Already working out, getting ready for wrestling.
That's right. He's a very, very good high school wrestler. And Coach Thomas heads that program up, and I know that he has a lot of people coming out for wrestling. So hopefully we're going to have all of our weight classes filled. I know that they can look different places, newspaper, probably even on your websites for the schedules.
Yeah, our schedule's already up.
You know, I tell you, in a small town like Charlton County, if you're looking for good entertainment, we don't have movie theaters. No. We don't have malls to go to and things like that. I tell you really need to look at these schedules and get out here and watch wrestling matches. You need to get out here and watch these basketball games, the middle school basketball games, the high school basketball games, and so forth. Because I tell you what, it's really, for a small town, it's the best entertainment there is. And it's
something going on all the time.
And it's good stuff. It's really good stuff. You come out and you get to watch our kids play hard and wrestle hard and so forth. A great environment. Our kids and our coaches just do a great job. It's we run good, disciplined programs here, and that's what I'm really proud of. You don't see a lot of junk going on or anything when you come watch our kids compete. And I really encourage everyone just to take a look at on a Tuesday night in southeast Georgia in the middle of the winter. What else is there to do? Come out and watch our boys and girls basketball teams play. So with that, I hope that a lot of people will show up and watch and support our kids in that right there. You know, as far as us when it comes to football, you know, right now we kind of get ourselves between now and to Christmas. We worked out today. We're going to continue to work out.
Really?
But it's in the weight room every day. But it's not at the intense level that we'll have when we officially, what we feel like is start winter workouts. When we get back from Christmas after the new year, we will really, really get at it for about 16 weeks before spring football starts. Yeah. And it will be intense workouts in the weight room every day and so forth. And of course, it will be getting ready for next year, trying to get some of our kids, our big linemen, in a little bit better shape, trying to get some more muscle on our kids, and really start team building in the weight room come January. You know, and also there's some quarterback club activities going on this part of the year. We have, I know this coming Saturday, the quarterback club is going to raffle off a 120 gallon big cooker grill. It's up at Brian Hewling's. If anybody's interested in tickets for that, Brian Hewling has them up for his office, or I have some here in the weight room. Okay. Anybody wants, but that's this Saturday. And of course, we have the big rib sale, the Joe Chesser ribs everybody knows about. That's going to be in March, probably March or April, but I'm sure it's in March. That's been a gigantic fundraiser for our football program. And then of course we have the quarterback club steak dinner, which will be the 1st of May, and that's to raise money to give out to our seniors for scholarship money. So hopefully everybody will come and support those things. But during the off season, for me, it's a chance for us to really get to see kids in the weight room, start evaluating them, seeing where they may fit into the program for next year. Plus, it gives myself and our coaching staff a chance to reevaluate the things that we did on the field last year. Look at more film, look at the film of the things we did and evaluate it, and then start working on a game plan of come spring, what do we want to do on the offensive side of the ball, what do we want to do on the defensive side of the ball, and do we want to move anybody to different positions to take a look at them. So we're still very, very busy. Even though football's over,
it's year round for you guys.
It really is. If football's year round, we just kind of change pace a little bit now. Now we go to more of the training aspect of it and the planning for spring, summer, and then for next fall. But it never ends for us. We've got to keep on working and keep on trying to get better.
Speaking of all these fundraisers, the Diamond Club.
That's that right.
What's it called? Diamond Club?
The Dugout Club.
Dugout Club. They are also having a cookout from the 22nd, right?
Yep, Boston Bud. It's on the 22nd for $20. I know I bought mine already.
Have you?
Yeah, and I look forward to getting that. I tell you, they've done it in the past. They've done everything, and they do a great job with that. And I think Joe Lester even told me he's going to season those butts for them. So I know they're going to be good.
They're going to be good.
I've already bought my one. I'm probably by the time between now and the 22nd, I'm probably going to end up buying me another one. But yeah, I tell you what, and that's just around the corner. Our baseball team. Coach Marksman, what a year last year. Incredible year last year. And I know they're doing some fundraisers. Like I said, the Boston Butts on the 22nd. Right. They got to make sure everybody. I know Brian Hewling has some tickets up at his office. Marcy Turner has them up there, so everybody needs to go up. The way I look at it, if everybody in this county goes and buys at least one butt, they'll have done good. And if everybody will come out and buy at least one ticket to this grill, and if everybody will go out and buy one slab of ribs, I think we'll all be doing well. So I encourage people to really just support our athletics. I know times are tough, and I know not everybody has as much money in their pockets as we have in the past, but if you can pull out a $10 bill or a $20 bill and help out our kids, it really goes a long way. It stays right here with our kids. It's not like a lot of other things. I told people that, when you pay your taxes, who knows where that money goes. But the Dugout Club and the Quarterback Club and the Diamond Club for the softball team, we're tax deductible. When you give that money to that money stays right here. It goes right to our kids and in our programs. And I can't think of a better way to spend your money is on our kids and the programs that help them become young men and young women down the road. So I encourage people to be involved in that.
All right. Well, Coach, I guess this will wrap up the final edition of the Coach Mack Show for the season. Want to thank you for being on the show, agreeing to do the show with us this year, and I look forward to next year too.
Well, I appreciate you guys and everything you've done for our kids. Chris and yourself, I'll tell you what, it's and the support you guys have given us, I really appreciate it. I wish we could have had one of those years where you go 15 games and take this show to the Dome one time. Maybe it could still happen, but I tell you, I know that people. Well, we talk about all around the county. We even talk about all around the world tuning in to Charlton County football. So I'm still
looking for that guy in Zimbabwe.
That's right. Whoever you are, just keep on watching us. But I really appreciate anything anybody does for our kids. I really appreciate it because there's a lot of things we can be doing, but I can't think of a better thing that you can do than be involved in young people's lives and be helping these kids in positive ways. And there's a lot of things for these kids to be out doing, and there's nothing better than to be doing than doing working on sports, working on academics, and involved with great groups like this. So I appreciate you supporting us, and I appreciate your promoting us.
We have a ball doing it.
I look forward to spring. Maybe we can get together in the spring, talk about spring football, and get on with next year.
We can crank it back up if you want to in the spring. We'll crank it right back up. We won't wait till next fall.
That's right.
That'll be fine with me. All right, well, y'all, we'll see you in the off season. Support all these fundraisers, and we'll see you tomorrow night on the Charlton Sports Weekly. Appreciate you watching the Coach Mack Show.